Hello everyone, this is Jason from Primetime Aquatics, and I am here with Tim back at his fish room. We were here a couple years ago, but you got a lot of new stuff going on, don't you?
Oh yeah.
And a lot of tanks got a lot larger?
Oh yeah, a lot larger.
Last time we were here, and I will put the first fish room tour that we did down in the description below as well as in the upper right hand corner, but the fish have grown. You put a lot of large tanks in. When we were here a couple years ago, you were talking about it. You said, hey, we've got some large tanks we're going to add.
That's right.
And we were just talking, you're not done. You've got some more big tanks coming up. So we're going to take a walk around. I think you're really going to enjoy this fish room.
Yep. We got the 200-gallon fish tank with 125-gallon filtration. Nothing's really changed over the last time you came. Just got a little more bigger. Maybe this jaguar female, but otherwise,
so there's some
changed.
There's some standout fish. I know you're with them all the time, but from 2 years ago, these fish have gotten much larger, and a couple of things really stand out. You said the white fish that you've got here, you think it's probably a red devil. It's what it looks like to me. You said a couple other people came out and identified it as such.
Yeah, when I first got this, someone said this is an albino red devil. I just bought it because it was nice pearl, and that was it. But since I've had it, other people have said the same thing. Oh, I love your albino red devil. And I'm like, if more people are saying this is what it is, it's got to be what it is. And if you look closely on his top fin, you do see a little bit of orange.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've seen it, right? And that's what it must be. But I mean, a lot of people always say, you know, tanks overcrowded. Every single time someone comes over here and says, hey, film it and then put it on, and then people have made comments down below, tanks overcrowded. If this tank was not like it is with this many fish, they would be killing each other, number one. Number two, some of these fish in here should not be in this tank with the others, but everything goes perfectly. No one is doing anything to anybody except a little bit of biting the fins, a little bit of territorial, but that's pretty much it. The albino, right now, he has the bottom, but next weekend it'll be someone else's, and that's how it's going to be.
And that's a good point. You've got a lot of large South and Central American fish here that are really aggressive, and often you hear you can keep one in a 75 or maybe in a 125, but you've got a large tank here with a lot of aggressive fish, and because no fish is really claiming any one territory all that well, they're just kind of swimming around. They're relatively relaxed. Yeah, they're going to chase each other around a little bit, but I like what's going on here in terms of not a whole lot of aggression going on. You've got a really cool, what kind of eel is this over here?
Actually, there's a couple of eels in here right now. I know there's a fire eel hiding someplace. There's a brochure back there. He's about maybe 14 inches. There's a tire track down below. I know he's at least 24 because from top to bottom of this tank is 24, so he reaches no problem from top to bottom. There's plecos in there, there's upside down catfish in here, there's flathead catfish, and they're all hiding all in there. And then every single time, you know, someone comes over, a fish might come out and say, ooh, look at that fish. You know, then all of a sudden he disappears. So they're in there. Just gotta look.
This is a really great tank, and this is the beginning. This is not like the big fish room. We're headed to the big fish room here in a second.
And one other thing that I want to point out is, you know, if a fish gets kind of beat up a little bit, the other ones will be aggressive and start beating them up. I do have a flower horn down below. He got beat up a little bit, so I have him down in a tank and the 125, the filtration on one side. He's healing, so everyone's going to keep him down there, and then when he does get 100%, you know, I'll probably put him downstairs in a different tank. I don't want to put him right back in here because he might be, you know, not as tough, you know.
Sure. And that's one thing I think that's important to keep in mind too. You've got, you know, a lot of us with a lot of tanks, we can afford to make a tank like this, and if something doesn't work, we have the space, the room, and the means to move them around until you get a combination that works. So this isn't for everyone. If someone just had a tank this size and only had this tank, this would be very risky, I would think, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. definitely.
And you had mentioned too with the Pacu that you're kind of moving on with those, and they're going to possibly have a future home at some point. This is probably not their forever home, right?
Yeah, I've had those guys since they're maybe a couple inches. So we're gonna go downstairs to my fish room that's completely finished and show you my fish tanks.
Cool,
let's go.
Let's do it.
What we got here is a 125, kind of a holding tank until I have a permanent home for them.
So you got a lot of cool fish in here. And again, right now you said it's a holding tank, but a lot of different types of fish. You got frontosa, you got the leperinus, which is a cool fish, huge. Where did you get that?
Just rescued it from someone that wanted to get rid of it, so I went ahead and took it.
And you do a lot of that too. I mean, I know that you go around and people who have larger fish, they can't take care of them anymore.
Oh yeah.
You try to give them a home, even if it's just a temporary till you find an even bigger place for them. That's pretty cool.
Exactly, yeah. And I'll put some driftwood in there, make it look, a little bit nice. No rocks on the bottom. Nothing really fancy.
And this is a 125?
125.
All right, so we're moving. So the tank up at the top. All right. Okay, tell us the story.
I got those a couple of months ago from the GCCA. Got them home, and within an hour they spawned. And this is what the result is. Nice. A lot of babies.
So what do you got? Probably like 100, 150 in there?
There were more than that, but they decided some of them go through the filtration and then went down, got in the bag overflowed, and went through the pumps, and I found a lot of them in different tanks. And if they were small fish, they got eaten, and if they were larger fish, they didn't do anything to them, so I just gathered them all together and put them back in there, but I still have a whole bunch still left over.
And those are pretty fish.
Very slow growing fish. Got a couple of dozen in there. They're up for sale.
Nice. These are some of my favorites, and they're so pretty.
Yeah, the earth eaters.
Yep, the Geophagus juapari?
Yes.
Is that what they are? Yeah. Now, do you know male, female, what you got going on there?
Not offhand. I got them at an auction. I like the color, and I just like them, so when they came up, bidded, left it up, and got 3 of them.
So that was one of those times when you're like, "Oh, these are fish are mine." You start just bidding up $10 at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, those are nice. So here we've got some of my little favorites. So what's going on in here? What's
at the club, at Greenwater Club, guy brought these in, maybe 6 or 7 at a time, and there's like three bunches that I got. Every single time I went, he had some, so I got them and put them in there, and nothing has happened just yet, but they moved everything around, gravel everything, so it's a small little, maybe 10 gallons right there, but I like to make it bigger, but it's hard to have as much as I do, as you see.
Right. And it's working out good. It looks good. So what do we got back at hiding out over here?
Just a regular eel. It's a spotted eel. Not tire track at all.
Okay.
But it was at an auction, so I picked them up because I like the color, and it was something different.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, and then there's like a talking catfish in there, a Raphael Catfish. He's in there somewhere, probably right behind there.
Okay. It's green, huh?
2 other green silverums, male and female. Can't really see them that well. The female's probably hiding inside here. Male's probably beating her up, so she's just hiding until she wants to come out. Try to breed them.
Yeah.
Nothing yet. They had a little action down below, moving stuff around, but she did win first place at the aquatic experience a couple of years ago. She's gotten a little bit more bigger. Otherwise, this is her tank. Nothing else is going in it. And she's peaceful when I put my hand in there. She will let me pet her, but only a couple of times until she turns around and fights me.
What do we got here?
So we have the Pollinati, the star, and there's 2 females in there. They're probably in back, but he's out and about, that's his spot. She doesn't like let the females out unless it's feeding time and they come out. Other than that, then, you know, he's pretty peaceful. Nice markings, always strutting his fins out and everything. Real nice.
Super pretty. Is this an Mbuna? And
Yeah.
all these South and Central Americans, you got
Yeah.
you got a pair in here?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Lady at the Greenwater had them, and she says that they do breed. So I never had them, so I went ahead and
Nice.
picked them up and put them in here. And nothing's really going on just yet, but you know, we'll see what happens. So the Cuban Cichlids, picked these up February. They have spawn for me, and they just had a big spawn, but I don't know what happened to all the babies. This is what's left, maybe a dozen or two. Oh, we'll get to you later. Hold on.
Yeah, he's telling me. How big are these things, kid? Because they're really pretty.
The male, that's full grown right there. The female, maybe another inch or two, but in all, you know, the female doesn't get as big as the male, but the color is exactly the same.
So cool. I like these fish.
They're mistaken for jaguars.
Yeah.
But when I seen them on Craigslist, I had to get them.
Okay. Yeah, those
Had
are
to get
awesome.
them. Texas Cichlid.
Is that a male?
Yes.
Pretty.
Male Texas Cichlid. A little shy, but one thing is that he does open up everything up and show really nice. The one in the corner is a rescue fish. As you can see, his tail is really bad, but he does have personality. He will heal. It just takes a little bit of time. You know, I don't want to put him in a tank with other fish because they might attack his tail. So he's in there right now. It is healing really good.
Is that a vieja?
Yeah. So the big giant Grammy was at a pet store, and someone asked me if I wanted it, and I said, sure, why not? I didn't expect it to be that big, but I mean, it's a 125, so he fits in there just fine.
At least for now.
Yeah, for now. We'll see about next year how big he gets. If he does get a little bigger, you know, I might have to find a home for him.
Yeah. I did that video on the Asian biotopes. They had a giant gourami in that tank that was probably like, it was at least 24 to 28 inches. It was a monster.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's big. But
This one's much better looking.
But it's got personality. You know, it's a nice looking fish. You know, tail is a little beat up, but you know, I did rescue him. Someone said, you want him? So yeah, definitely, I'll take him.
At least get him temporarily into a larger tank, right?
So this is my big Costa Rica blue doveye, making all the noise. He wants attention. That's what he wants. He sees me in the fish room. He'll follow me. If I don't at least look at him, he will splash me. And what I mean by that is that he'll come up to the tank and then he'll whip his tail and water will come up out of the water. Out of the tank.
That's too funny.
And I gotta do is just move my finger around and he's getting all excited.
Just wants to eat your finger. He thinks it's a hot dog. Now you got this big old pleco in here. He leaves it alone, huh?
Yep, he doesn't bother whatsoever. That is a rescue. Someone was getting rid of it because it was too big. Obviously, this is the big tank.
Yeah.
220. So he fits in there just fine. Eats driftwood, cleans the glass for me.
Such a pretty fish. A pair Red Devils?
Red Devils.
He's big, man. He's really big.
Yeah, he's got nice growth on him.
And you had, so the Midas cichlids that I have, those were actually your grandbabies.
Yeah, the male is in the other tank upstairs, and this is the female. Actually, I put two females in there, and he accepted her, and the other one was trapped in the corner. So I took that one out, and then they've been living in here peacefully for at least 8-9 months now.
Such a great looking fish. big thank you to Tim once again for letting us come out and visit his fish room. If you like this video, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.